Go over to terms and policy.
Okay.
We want to go to viewing information services. And then there's this I agree.
If I were the devil, I'd soon have families at war with themselves, churches at war with themselves, and nations at war with themselves.
Yo, we are back at it again. In today's episode, we'll be looking at some videos that may need you to buckle up. But before we dive in, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and let's get it.
If I were the devil, if I were the prince of darkness, I'd want to engulf the whole world in darkness. And I'd have a third of its real estate and 4/5 of its population, but I wouldn't be happy until I had seized the ripest apple on the tree. Thee. So I'd set about, however necessary, to take over the United States. I'd subvert the churches first. I'd begin with a campaign of whispers. With the wisdom of a serpent, I would whisper to you as I whispered to Eve, do as you please. To the young, I would whisper that the Bible is a myth. I would convince them that man created God instead of the other way around. I would confide that what's bad is good and what's good is square. And the old I would teach to pray after me, Our Father, which art in Washington. And then I'd get organized. I'd educate authors in how to make lurid literature exciting so that anything else would appear dull and uninteresting. I'd threaten TV with dirtier movies and vice versa. I'd peddle narcotics to whom I could. I'd sell alcohol to ladies and gentlemen of distinction. I'd tranquilize the rest with pills. If I were the devil, I'd soon have families at war with themselves, churches at war with themselves, and nations at war with themselves, until each in its turn was consumed. And with promises of higher ratings, I'd have mesmerizing media fanning the flames. If I were the devil, I would encourage schools to refine young intellects, but neglect to discipline emotions. Just let those run wild. Until before you knew it, you'd have to have drug-sniffing dogs and metal detectors at every schoolhouse door. Within a decade, I'd have prisons overflowing. I'd have judges promoting pornography. Soon I could evict God from the courthouse, then from the schoolhouse, and then from the houses of Congress. And in his own churches, I would substitute psychology for religion and deify science. I would lure priests and pastors into misusing boys and girls and church money. If I were the devil, I'd make the symbol of Easter an egg and the symbol of Christmas a bottle. If I were the devil, I'd take from those who have and give to those who wanted until I had killed the incentive of the ambitious. And what'll you bet? I couldn't get whole states to promote gambling as the way to get rich. I would caution against extremes in hard work, in patriotism, in moral conduct. I would convince the young that marriage is old-fashioned, that swinging is more fun, that what you see on TV is the way to be. And thus I could undress you in public, and I could lure you into bed with diseases for which there is no cure. In other words, if I were the devil, I'd just keep right on doing what he's doing.
Considering Paul Harvey delivered that speech back in 1965, he must have had a special telescope to look into the future, because everything he said back then is basically happening now. I mean, if he was a gambling man, he would have hit all sevens on the slot machine.
Did you know that Bill Gates is the largest private owner of farmland in the U.S.? He owns 270,000 acres. What does the computer boy want with all that land? These are farm facts with Granny.
At the rate Bill Gates is going and acquiring farmland, you'd have thought he had a college degree in agriculture. And I was kind of shocked to see that he has over 1,200 acres of recreational land. I mean, once he stays away from our local parks and our local basketball courts, I can live with that.
Have you guys seen the Doomsday Map?
Uh-oh.
If there's a cataclysm event that happens on Earth and parts of the world flood, sea levels rise, they came out with a map that looks like this.
It's America?
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
This is America. They do like the whole world, but this shot is of America.
How's Florida okay?
There's a lot of Florida that's gone. Like, it looks like a good 40% of Florida is gone. But
What about Mount Dora?
Still there.
Mount Dora's there.
Elevation, baby.
Second highest.
Second?
Yeah.
Yep.
What's the first?
Tallahassee.
Oh.
Actually.
But this lady on TikTok, her name is Peggy Bolton. She did some really fun research regarding the Doomsday Map. Ready?
Ready.
She compared what this map looked like to the land that Bill Gates has been buying. All
Shut
the
up.
farmland.
Shut up.
Because he is the majority farmland owner owner in the United States right now. That in and of itself is terrifying.
He likes
So weird.
farming, guys. What's the big deal?
Oh,
Bill Gates had a farm.
Then he ruled the world.
He wouldn't let us live on the land when it all flooded.
She took the map of the farmland that he owns and overlaid it onto this doomsday map. Every single dry land piece was occupied by his farmland.
Wait,
No, I mean, like,
I was lost.
it makes total sense that he's planning ahead, dude. Like, he's
So, like, for instance, in California, so California is basically completely underwater.
Yeah.
But there's these little pockets of islands. You see those?
He owns those.
See those?
Yeah.
That little one right there, that's one of his farmlands.
Yep.
She went as far, like, you can see she did, like, some little yellow dots where his farmlands are.
Louisiana, Georgia.
And, like, that compared to Zuckerberg, because on this doomsday map, Hawaii is completely fine.
How?
Don't know.
That's
Like,
so
she was, like, playing the whole thing. Like, New Zealand actually grows bigger and connects to Australia.
Dude.
All the billionaires
There's
that are
gonna be a
building
war.
bunkers.
There will be a war between those two.
No, but all these billionaires that are building bunkers and then buying up farmland. And she talked about how Jeff Bezos is also buying up farmland around the U.S. That all correlates with, like, these high points in America.
Yeah.
And around the world. And, like, the mountain where he buried that clock in Texas,
Yeah.
that's completely fine. It's super creepy.
So we need to get a boat.
Yeah.
We need to build a boat.
I mean, we're according to this map, we're good. We're gonna almost have beachfront property, baby.
Considering Bill Gates is on a land acquisition spree, if we do choose to relocate to higher grounds in an effort to survive a catastrophic flood, he may end up being a landlord to the majority of Americans.
It honestly blows my mind how nobody is talking about this. Watch this video of these celebrities exposing the whole entire industry and pay attention closely to what they have to say.
Ultimate goal is to be famous, then you're gonna do a lot to get there, like sign your name in blood in a contract with the devil.
Who could these people be?
I kind of sang about, what was going on in my life at 15, and that's how I got introduced to the music industry. I swear I wanted to be like the Amy Grant of music, but it didn't work out, and so I sold my soul to the devil. Well, needless to say, sold my soul.
Who is that?
It's a dance
Ellen DeGenerate.
with the devil. I'm the cure, real wrestle. It's a dance with the devil.
I'm trapped. If I can go back, I never would have rapped. I sold my soul to the devil. I'll never get it back. I just want to leave.
Do you record while the bus is moving, or does it have to come to a stop?
Yeah, well, sometimes they don't want to, and they're,
there a bicycle
we
on
can't
her
get, the frequency's weird, and, it's sounding a little bit strange, and I'm like, if you don't get this right now, I swear to Lucifer, I'm gonna, I get a little bit mad.
I sold my soul to the devil. I know it's a crappy deal. Lisa came with a few toys like a Happy Meal.
Why is your hand over your eye?
Because I'm a devil worshiper, what are you talking about? Well, I have tickets to see the devil worshiper.
Roman is a crazy boy
Cardi B.
who lives in me.
It's actually mind-blowing what these celebrities be doing for these crazy levels of fame. And I got way more to say about this, so make sure to like this video and follow me for part 2.
I'd rather shake my couch for loose change or live paycheck to paycheck than to get the Kanye Happy Meal treatment. I mean, based on how his life has been as of late, looks like it skipped over a few fine prints in the music contract because he definitely took an L.
How to stop your smart TV collecting your information and spy on you.
We would go down to settings. We would then have to go down to support. Go over to terms and policy.
Okay.
We want to go to viewing information services. And then there's this I agree.
Okay.
We're going to uncheck that.
And what does that do?
So what that will do is have it stop actually monitoring what you're watching.
Next, look for interest-based advertisements service privacy notice. Yeah, it's a mouthful.
You can also turn off the ability to get targeted ads.
So this is not that easy or intuitive for a normal user.
Right.
Others, like Roku, are not as complicated.
From the home screen, we go down to settings. We go over to privacy. Go to advertising. Now in this one, limit ad tracking, so we want to check it. And then Smart TV Experience, we want to uncheck that.
Another popular device, Amazon Fire TV. Go to Settings, Preferences, Privacy Settings, and Device Usage Data.
So we would like to turn that off.
Finally, disable Collect app and over-the-air usage and interest-based ads. Some good tips to help you outsmart your smart TV.
That's my last.
It kind of looks like we experienced in the early stages of smart TVs that are designed to gain knowledge by studying human behavioral patterns in a similar fashion as Sophia. We made it to go to Etsy and buy the old school analog TVs.
It's definitely the end of the world, y'all. Chick-fil-A is changing all of its chickens at all its location due to the lack of supply.
Chick-fil-A is going back on its pledge to serve antibiotic-free chicken. had adopted that policy nearly a decade ago, but starting this year, the company says it will now serve chicken with limited antibiotics. Chick-fil-A blamed the change on supply chain issues. Antibiotics have long been used to boost rapid weight gain in animals for food production. However, U.S. regulators put restrictions on the practice, citing evidence that the use of antibiotics in animals has led to resistance to the drugs in humans, making it harder for them to help us fight off.
Did you catch what she said? She said having these antibiotics in our body makes it hard for us to fight illnesses. I was not aware Chick-fil-A had a pledge. I mean, it doesn't matter to me because I'm plant-based. But at the same time, this is big news because you're literally going back on the promise. So my thing is, why did it take them so long? Because KFC has been serving GMO chicken for some time now. Where do they get their product from? To go from no antibiotics ever to limited antibiotics, which basically destroys our immune system, because you just heard her say this helps us not fight illnesses. And the most profound thing about this is people are still going to eat this. You know what I'm saying? Because this is what the Matrix does. So yeah, does that change your perception of Chick-fil-A, y'all? I mean, like I said, you know, what if you've been eating it all your life? You had no idea. What if they just been feeding you guys GMO chicken all this time? Or styrofoam chicken all this time? What if that? What if that? What do y'all think about that? But yeah, this video is strictly for entertainment purposes only.
I really don't get why Chick-fil-A is including any level of antibiotics in their food, but I can only assume that the USDA getting that attaboy.
Most people don't realize NASA is a climate agency. NASA is a climate agency. Climate agency.
It would be nice if NASA provided some insight regarding the purpose of chemtrails. By the rate they're going, I would probably have a better chance winning the lottery than NASA spilling the beans. I would like to assume that a rocket was remote controlled opposed to having any passengers, because that impact against what appeared to be the firmament looked catastrophic.
So the Vatican is preparing guidelines for apparitions and other supernatural phenomena. Goal to teach how to discern. It says an apparition refers to an instance in which a divine entity, such as a saint, the Virgin Mary, or Christ himself, makes himself known or herself known to a person on the earth. First point that I want to make is this. Anytime something appears to you, it does not mean that it's automatically from God. The Apostle Paul warns us in the Bible that even Satan can make himself appear as an angel of light. He can shapeshift into that. The next point I want to make is that Mary's not a virgin. She was a virgin, but she had other kids. And even in link with that, God will never promote a believer to pray to Mary. Whenever we read scripture, Jesus tells us to pray to the Lord alone. And he says that he will answer our prayers. Anytime that you have a visitation with a being that turns you away from the God of the Bible, it's a satanic being, even if it is masquerading as an angel of light. The light gets real dim when you get close enough to see its true intention.
The Pope probably has a feeling that E.T. and his comrades might be a few steps away from making their presence known. Other than that, I can't think of any rational reason why the Catholic Church would have guidelines for apparitions being disclosed at this point. Alright guys, so that's it for the episode. If you stuck all the way through, I greatly appreciate it. But before you leave, don't forget to sub up, like this video as well. I will see you guys in the next one, but until then, peace and love.